from the cold night air with one enormous chair of wood. Wouldn't it be lovely? The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain.
Turn left onto Wilkinson Boulevard.
Hi everybody! I am in Fayetteville, Kentucky. I spent my morning at Starbucks, per usual. It's been raining all night, all day, and it ain't stopping. But that ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna go check out a few distilleries. I love bourbon. It is my go-to spirit. And there are so many distilleries here that I would love to see, and I would love to like do a full tour. If you go to like 9 distilleries, you get a free t-shirt, which is like, I would do that, but I'm not going to, because yeah, I'm not. There are many distilleries, in particular Maker's Mark and Bullet, that I really, really wanted to go to, but I have chosen 2 other distilleries to go to instead because of location and price and effort. I don't know. So, rain or shine, I mean, if anything, the rain makes the whiskey way more appropriate. And it's a lovely little, like, indoor activity. Like, this is the perfect day to go have whiskey. So, yeah, let's go have some whiskey. Woohoo! A National Historic Landmark. Who knew? Oh, it's so pretty. Where do people park around here? It smells so good. I wasn't expecting that. I don't even know if this is the main entrance. Hi, I'm interested in a tour.
Okay, the next one's going to go out at 2 o'clock, so you got about a 20-minute wait.
Great.
How many in your party?
Just me.
Okie doke.
Thank you.
What makes us continuously operating, we were open during Prohibition, and that worked out very nicely.
Look what I got! Yay! They gave me one too! So pretty.
before and you disappeared.
Because, oh man. Buffalo cream with root beer for dessert. Yum. Thank you. Okay, well, I just decided to skedaddle out because I really wanted to check out one more distillery today. I don't think I'm gonna do a tour. Buffalo. I'm so easily amused. But I'm gonna see about a tasting and hopefully purchase some whiskey. So, yeah, I'm booking it. I don't know if this is gonna be for nothing. I'm really hoping I can at least just do a tasting. I've already missed the last tour, but the reason I wanted to do Buffalo Trace, apart from I like their whiskey, I'm very familiar with it. The other reason why is because they offer free tours, which is so cool. It's a very effective marketing strategy, just because the majority of people that go are gonna probably end up buying something. So they offer free tours, and you know, I'm pinching pennies here, y'all. Oh. So unfortunately, the tour that I wanted to do was all booked up. So I did like their standard tour. Can I just say, I just didn't like it. All their tours are free, so I assume that their more like specialized tours are better than like the on the hour like standard tour. But can I just say, not only was it like boring, well, and I was really cold, so like my own physical comfort obviously affected my opinion, but they made us watch this video, and oh my god, it like, you could not pay me to watch that video again. Not only was it so tacky, boring, it repeated everything that the tour guide had already told us, but it also had some like serious like racist undertones. Like, I kid you not, it couldn't stop referring to tradition and how brave and resilient the pioneers were. I mean, it was like, they really nailed that in. The fact that Buffalo Trace honors the pioneers. And I get the history, and I think that part is very interesting, but like, just the way that they really, I don't know, they angled it in a way that like put like pure disgust on my face almost the entire video. It was so strange. I was so weirded out, and I was like waiting for other people to like be reacting, because like there were a few points where I just like couldn't help but laugh because I was so shocked and like weirded out and bored, like all at the same time. What the hell? I can't even believe that. So weird. But I did learn some fun stuff. I got to see like one of their bottling buildings, and one of their barrel houses, I guess. And I think the coolest part about visiting Buffalo Trace instead of the other distilleries is that Buffalo Trace is the longest running distillery, I think, in the country, because it was open before Prohibition and stayed open during Prohibition. So for that, you know, it gives it like an extra edge, is that they actually got medicinal, they were selling medicinal alcohol during Prohibition. So it's actually like it's a historic landmark, and it's pretty cool that Buffalo Trace has stayed on their property. Like, even though demand has skyrocketed in the recent years, and in the last 2 years they doubled their output, but they haven't moved. They don't have multiple locations. They just have it on the same property that it always was on. And I think just the history of that is pretty cool. So I learned a little bit about what bourbon is, why Kentucky is famous for making bourbon. They started it. And in general, I'm glad I went. I didn't spend a dime there, and I got to try some whiskeys. Would I recommend that specific tour? No. Do I wish I was able to make it to the tour that I wanted to go on? Yes. I probably wouldn't be having such a strong reaction, because I know for a fact they don't make you watch that video. And it was that video that really turned me off. And I was just kind of cold, but that's my fault. That's not their fault. But the staff was very friendly, and oh yeah, I mean, it was great. So I'm really hoping I can have another positive experience at my next destination. Okay. Well, this is quite pretty. Oh, it's on a river. And there's a cool horse statue. Granted, the other one had, oh, there's a parking director. Good, how are you? Thank you.
Guys down there making our bourbon for us today, they really like it when I go over a few safety rules up here. So the first thing I would like to ask that would help me.
Hi. Is it possible to do a tasting and not a tour?
It is at 3:45.
Oh, well, okay. Sign me up.
Just one for you?
Yes, please.
Okey-dokey. And if I could see ID, please.
Of course. And then afterwards, is it possible, like, is there anywhere that I can, like, walk and just see the grounds?
You'll be out on the porch for the tasting, so you can see a lot of it from there.
That's good enough for me. Thank you. So, $8 for a tasting, but there's a beautiful fire. Look at that. Very pretty. And it's at 3:45, so pretty soon.
We slip through the crowd and get back up front here. The big kicker is that barrel. We make our own barrels. The barrel's giving you all of your color, roughly half the flavor you get. Any of these sweet aromatics, caramel, vanilla, butterscotch, you're gonna get less of this ethanol.
So I just exited the Woodford Reserve distillery. They didn't have tours available, which I knew, but I wanted to see if they did a tasting, and I made it just in time for a tasting. I think it might have been their last. It was 15 minutes long. We tried 2 bourbons. We were able to ask questions, but I didn't have any. And that was it, really. You know, they had a chocolate for us to have with it. The grounds here are amazing. I mean, it's beautiful out here. It's just definitely aesthetically pleasing. It is. I had to drive through at least maybe 1.5 miles at least of just open green fields. You can hear horses nearby. This is the official whiskey of the Kentucky Derby, which was just last week, but definitely beautiful out here. The building follows that same appeal clean lines, crisp open spaces. Now the thing that I regret is I did hear that the tours here were quite good, and to get the standard tour here, it's $14, and that comes with the tasting. Now I paid $8 for that tasting, so you know, for my money, I would have much rather had paid for the tour and gotten to see the property, because the property is beautiful out here. And there seemed, you know, from what he told us during the tasting, there's a lot of history here as well. So, you know, in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have done Buffalo Trace and just came here. But, you know, ultimately I got a tour, I got 2 tastings, and I still saved money. So, you know, it is what it is. It finally stopped rain. Well, it's drizzling for sure. But all in all, I think from the experience that I did have, I would recommend Woodford Reserve over Buffalo Trace. Although Woodford Reserve gave me a little bit of a pretentious vibe. So if that doesn't matter to you, if you like that kind of pristine, sort of like we're the best sort of feeling, if you like that, and if you enjoy beautiful things, then that's fine. And you know, for me, I'm moody about that. Like sometimes I'm like, sometimes it's a turn off and sometimes it's a turn on for me. So Woodford Reserve definitely has that appeal or that aesthetic, and if you're not into that, then, you know, Buffalo Trace offers free tours and a free tasting, and for that I commend them. But like, their tour was not good, at least the one I did. So that's kind of where I'm left. There was a lot of distilleries that I wanted to go to, as I mentioned earlier, especially Bullet and Maker's Mark, but that's all right. Maybe I'll come back. I say that about every place I go to. I don't know, but I would love, if anyone has been to a distillery, especially a bourbon distillery in Kentucky, that you really liked or disliked, share it in the comment section below, because I'm very curious and I want to know how my experiences compare to others. So let's talk about it. But for right now, this is goodbye. But we'll see you guys very soon after my camping trip. So it might be a couple days. Bye. I could have danced all night, I could have danced all night, and still had begged for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I'd never done before. I'd never know what made it so exciting, why all at once my heart took flight. I only know when he began to dance with me, I could have danced, danced, danced.